This is a gadget that I bought to go with my spotting scope at the shooting range, and what it's supposed to do is allow you to mount your cell phone here and then attach it to the spotting scope. It came in this box and has these instructions. This device screws. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got 3 fingers inside here that, as you screw it, clamp down so that it can fit a variety of scopes. Now I'm screwing it back out and they're widening. So in and they close up, out and they widen, and then it's basically got a clamp to allow it to fit a bunch of different cell phones. So I'm going to be trying it out with my large Note 3 cell phone and a spotting scope that I already had. So here's my spotting scope, and the device should mount to the eyepiece, so I've got it turned out a ways, and then I'm turning it clockwise to clamp it down on the eyepiece pretty tight. So the problem right away is this eyepiece, like most of the ones on binoculars and so forth, have this rubber lip on it, and this thing does not want to grab onto it. And so right out of the box it's a problem. And well, there, maybe it's going to hold, but I don't know if I would trust, I don't think I would trust it with my big old cell phone hanging off of it. So I'm going to continue to work with it and see if I can get it to stay on there. I may try to pull the rubber off this piece and see if that works, because I really want this to work. But right now, right out of the box, it doesn't look like it's going to. So I used a screwdriver to pry the eyepiece rubber piece off. It wasn't very hard. It's a little bit old, and so the glue let loose pretty easily. And I'm running the risk of scratching the lens by putting this on, so I'm not real crazy about that. Okay, so I was able to get it mounted, and what I did is I set the eyepiece on the spotting scope to whatever I'm trying to look at, and then put it down flat like this and put the device on it, and then screwed it down, and it did not turn the eyepiece. Had it turned the eyepiece, it would have messed up my resolution, but looking through it, and I can't really show that here, but looking through it at what I was looking at, it seems to be okay. So the next thing to do is to mount the cell phone so that the camera looks through the eyepiece, and this thing is multi-adjustable to allow for that. So I'm showing here mounting it to the phone, and you can see I'm moving the orifice piece, and it blacks the screen. So anyway, you have to line it up with the actual viewfinder, and once you do that, then you can lock it down with this, and then mount it on the spotting scope. So at that point, you hold the phone and twist it without twisting the eyepiece, because the scope has to be set to whatever you're viewing. I was able to mount it to the scope, and I needed to support the phone, so I just used a little roll of tape, and the screwdriver acts as an adjustable wedge. So I enlisted the help of Santa Claus just because I wanted to show motion. So you can see I'm able to turn on the videotape, and then you can see him all the way down there. And this is what it looks like. So it was actually pretty important to support the phone because this would be completely out of adjustment. You can see it wants to fall completely. So, but otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it does what I was hoping it would do. Just have to get it set and then not touch it again. If you do, it's going to move all around. But I do think you could set it up at a shooting range and get the results that you want. So I'm pretty happy with it. Turn on the videotape, and then you can see him all the way down there. And this is what it looks like. So it was actually pretty important to support the phone because this would be completely out of adjustment. You can see it wants to fall completely. So, but otherwise, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it does what I was hoping it would do. Just have to get it set and then not touch it again. If you do, it's going to move all around. But I do think you could set it up at a shooting range and get the results that you want. So I'm pretty happy with it.